Okay, I think it's live. Good afternoon. There it goes. Okay. Sometimes my computer doesn't tell me right away when I'm live or not. So anyway, good afternoon. I'm here. It is Friday 21st, 2:33 p.m. Hold on. It's hard to get my arm in there like that. See, it's bright. It is Friday the 21st at 2:33 p.m. It's kind of upside down and whatnot, but you can see that that's really the time. I appreciate you, though, girly. Thank you so much for looking out for me. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. Okay, so I slept on my necklace, and apparently, oh wow, I fell asleep earlier, and I guess I tried to choke myself while I was asleep. Oh my gosh, y'all, I didn't even see that. Um, yeah. So, there we go. Okay. So anyway, um, just a quick update. Dad text me today or a little while ago. I think it was like 1 o'clock, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, let me read you the text because I don't want to try to like tell you." And as always, I am not. I don't have the rights to any of the music that you hear. Um, it's whoever made the music has the rights to it. And I'm going to discuss that a little bit too. But I wanted to tell you guys what Dad wrote me. He said, "Love it, baby. Makes my back feel a whole lot better." So he likes it. If Dad takes the time to text me out of his phone, um, out of his day to text me on his phone, then it's important I answer it because at Dad's job, he's not allowed to have his cell phone. Okay. But they all do it because whenever you call the number to talk to Jeremy or Curtis or any of them, they may or may not get um, the message. For example, a little while back, we had a what's it called? We had a shooting at our at our we're in Long uh not Long John Silver's, what was it? Red Lobster. There was a shooting outside of Red Lobster, and one of the people that worked at this company, um, his son got shot in whatever happened, the altercation, and sorry, hang on. And they called and said his wife called and said, "Hey, you need to get to the emergency room. We need my husband here now." And he didn't take his phone with him because they're not allowed to have it on the trucks. If the camera catches it, it's over for them. They're gonna get uh, they're gonna get in trouble, right? And so anyway, so they're not allowed to have their phones, right? And so the guy never got the message. Jeremy and them never sent it. Well, I'm not gonna say Jeremy because I don't know who the supervisors were at the time, but the supervisors at the time didn't give the guy the message, and so he had to find out after work that not only did his son get shot, they had to lifeline the little boy, and I believe that his son passed all in that span. Um, and to them, it was the longest time of their life, and she had to go through that herself. So when he found out, he quit because he was just like, "No, you didn't even tell me anything." So that's why the guys take their phones on the trucks. As long as the camera doesn't see them, they're safe. This right here looks like a regular watch, so Bob can still get his text and his phone call. Well, I don't call him. I'm the only one who can get through. I'm in his emergency breakthrough thing. If you're just joining, I slept on my necklace. Okay, that's what all this is. I'm trying to keep it covered up. It doesn't hurt. I didn't realize I fell asleep, and apparently I tried to, I don't know, hang myself in my sleep or something. I'm not really sure what I was trying because that is just, I've never had that happen. I guess it just got like pulled, like that, and that's the way it stayed for a while, and that's just the way I slept on it. But yeah, it doesn't hurt or anything. I'm fine. It just I didn't even notice it. I've been in the mirror 3 times, ain't looked there until I got on the camera, and I went, "Oh wow." But yes, I'm perfectly fine. That's just from my necklace. You can see that is the heart right there, and yeah, it fits perfectly. So yeah, it is just my necklaces that made all this mess on my neck. What else? Oh, I'm not gonna be nice anymore. I'm just gonna be a bitch about it. If you can't be nice, don't come on my channel. Okay? Keep scrolling. Go about your day. I ain't got time for that. And you're not gonna sit here and make anybody else feel bad. If you need to do that to feel better about yourself, then you need to go get therapy and you need to find Jesus. Because there's no reason to just hurt somebody and make somebody feel bad just because of whatever your insecurities are. I have insecurities too. We all do. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make everyone else feel bad. If you don't like what I'm doing on my channel, great. Go away. I don't, that's fine. If you like what I'm doing on my channel, stay here and chill with us. Um, yeah, I have a couple of my children have special needs, and whatever I need to do for them to connect with them, then that's what I'm going to do. Because this channel's not for you anyway, if that's how you feel. This is just not the channel for you, so please keep scrolling. And that's all I'm going to say about that in a nice way. If I have to address this again, I'm not going to be so nice about it. It's just not right. This is 2023, man. I would expect that back in the 80s when I was growing up, because we weren't educated like that. We used the R word. I mean, we use words that are not PC now, but we didn't know any better. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to change the subject. Bob loves his back massager. I was trying to think of what to call it. His little back massager pad for his chair. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, he texted me in the middle of the day. So if he did, that's good. What else? I think that's about it for the update. Oh, no. Y'all, I don't know what is going on with iPhone and Microsoft, but they are not getting along. Either that or iPhone is like I was when I was a kid, and it's like, I don't want to play with you. You don't play right. I'm not playing with you. And they don't want to play together. And now I've got these videos that I made for you guys yesterday stuck on my iPhone, and I can't get them through. So if you guys have any, I've talked to Mini Jarvis, and he can't even tell me how to do it. I've asked the little AI bot on Microsoft that they have. I've asked both of them the same question at the same time, and neither one of them know how to do it. So, apparently, iPhone and Microsoft are at war or something, and they're just not having it. But, yeah. I'm trying to edit it. I would upload it from the phone, but then you're gonna get like a bumbled mess because we had to pause it and stop it and all this stuff because it's really hard to make a video with one hand while I'm trying to cook and everything. Like trying to hold the phone and show you things like that was really hard. And so I'm gonna get a tripod this weekend though. That's they have them at Walmart for like I don't know $20 maybe. So we're going to go down there and see what they got to make my life a little bit easier for these videos since y'all are asking for them now. Like y'all are actually telling me what you want. Thank you so much for that, by the way. What else? Oh, and I feel a lot better. I'm still not going out of town because I'm exhausted. And I just want to take this weekend for me. I haven't done that in a really long time. I haven't taken anything for me. Because those of you who know me is I'm all about everybody else. I'm a people pleaser. I want to make sure that my kids are happy. I want to make sure my mama is happy, my daddy, my whole family. I want to make sure everybody's happy. And if there's anything I can do to make you happy, I'm going to do that, even if it makes me miserable. I will do whatever it takes to make you happy. That's just who I am. It's who I've always been. I thought my give a damn busted a little while back, but it didn't. I've been trying to get it to bust for a while, but it won't. Bodie, lay down. We'll tell Bodie to lay down too. Well, everybody will tell Bodie to lay down. Bodie, lay down. Watch me. No, not really. Maybe he needs to go potty or something, baby. I know, mine does that too. And oh, it was texting the weirdest. Okay, so I did the update on my iPhone. Yesterday, I believe it was yesterday I did it. Now my iPhone is tripping. It is texting people. Oh, and okay, so Amy gave me her old cell phone. It is the damnedest thing. I can text you on my cell phone and it texts you in English. I start texting on her cell phone. I don't know Spanish, not like that. It will turn my English into Spanish and text you in Spanish. I don't know why it does that. It just does. So yeah. What else? I still haven't learned how to crochet, y'all. I've been working with this. I got so frustrated last night that I just walked away from the computer because I tried for, oh my Lord, since the live ended till about 10:30. So what, 2.5 hours? I tried to upload those videos and I finally just was over it. I was like, I'm done. And so I went and laid down and Bob woke me up at 4 and I got up with him and then I went and had, what did I eat? Oh, I had some of the leftover shepherd's pie. And in my opinion, it's not so bad if you cover it up with some Frank's Red Hot sauce. But it's not my favorite dish. So I'm of course not gonna like it. But he loved it. He ate a lot. And he even took it to work. And it's not like him to eat a hot dish cold. But this is something he said that he will eat cold because it just tastes that good, even cold. Let me see. What else? I think that's all the updates I had. Bob loves his present. I didn't tell him about his other present. Or I guess, I'm not sure if it's one gift or two, how to say that. So I'm just saying it's like one because it kind of goes together. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but he knows about that. He doesn't know what it is. He just knows that he has it. So that's all he knows about that. And he asked for hints, and I was like, dude, I don't even know how to give you hints about this one. So I'm not even trying to give him hints. And so next time, next time we're in Houston or near Houston, we're going to swing by and meet up and grab that from her for him, or they'll ship it to us. So either way, he's going to get his present. That's what you call it. His gift. And I think he's really going to like it, actually. I think he's going to love it. But that's beside the point. What else? Oh, and he even took, the brownies must have been good too, because he normally just takes like one piece. I think he took 3 today. So, yeah. He must have really, really liked those. What else was I going to tell you? I already griped at you and told you to be nice. I have a checklist. I'm just so overwhelmed right now. I cannot get these videos uploaded, you guys. They're there. They're on my phone. They're right here waiting on me to get them on that computer and get them edited down for you and get it so that, y'all know I have ADD. Y'all don't need to see it that much. No, not really. It wasn't an ADD thing. It was, I'm trying to cook while doing this right here. I'm doing this while I'm trying to cook. And so, yeah, well, actually, it was like this because I'm left-handed, but it was more like this. And so it's super, super hard to do that. And if I were to like turn it, to set the camera on the counter like this so that you guys could, it would just go whoop. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I need to get one of those poppy things that go here. I guess maybe somebody told me that was to get one of those. But I'm just gonna get a tripod and call it a day. I mean, I figured that'll be easier. And then the tripod that I looked at Walmart online at Walmart.com, it'll even hold this camera also. So I won't have to get two separate tripods. I can just use the same tripod for both. So that's going to be very convenient and cost efficient. So yeah, I am trying to get, once I get the files to the computer, I'm not going to have the problem. It's trying to get the files from the computer from the phone to the computer. And here's the kicker. My backup to iCloud is on. But they're not going for some reason. I've even like tried to force sync it, and they're just not. It's like error, and I'm like, what? Why do you not like these videos? What's going on? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to tell you about. Okay, so there's a little technicality, loophole, whatever you want to call it. So technically, it's not legal for you to play any kind of songs. It doesn't matter unless they are your own and you own the rights to them. So anybody, but we all do it. Okay, so the artists have kind of made a loophole. As long as you're telling people that the music that they are hearing is not yours, they can if they want to, but it's not like they're going to. The artists are going to be like, oh, they're just trying to introduce people to new music and go on. Um, but if you're trying to use it as yours, then yeah, of course they're going to have a problem because you guys, if you've never been anywhere near music, even for a little while, I was only near music for, like, as far as making music, for about 3 years. And it's not easy. When I first went into it, I got invited to the band and everything to be the backup singer, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be easy. I'm just gonna go in there and sing on stage and I'm out. No, it does not work like that. You got to sit down with your people and y'all got rehearsals and timings are right. There was one song where in the middle of it, like I'm talking dead ass in the middle of this song, we all just stop and it goes silent. And then we start up again. It was for like dramatic effects or something. It had something to do with the song, and I don't even remember the song, but you had to get that just right because we would come in and the drums would start, and then everybody else would start, and so we had to get it to where everybody went in with the drums instead of it was drums, guitar, singers, so forth. We all had to come back together and do that. Um, the songs, you got to write new material. I mean, you can't keep using the same thing. I myself am not a songwriter, but I can sit down and tell you what I'm thinking. I'm not real good at, I guess, processing emotions and putting them into words. I'm not good with that. Uh, but I've been in a collab, where they've been writing, and I've been able to give suggestions like, hey, why don't we say this instead of this? Because, you can't talk about drugs in a song. Well, back when we were doing this, it wasn't okay. Like Mr. Tambourine Man, okay? You know what he was talking about. He's calling his drug dealer, give me my drugs. Just different stuff like that. So we would have to find new ways of talking about um, smoking or whatever. And so that stuff gets hard after a little while. And you got to try to find something you can get your audience participating in, like Queen did with We Will Rock You. I watched the documentary, and that's what that song was solely written for, is audience participation, and it worked. You get your audience word uh, interacting with you, and yeah. Um, so that's it on that update. What else? Yeah, if y'all can find a way for Apple to give up my videos to Windows, that'd be great. I even tried to email them to myself, guys. I even tried to email them to. I tried to email them to me. I tried to text them to me. I tried to airdrop them from one iPhone to the other. I tried everything. They are not moving. They are not doing anything. They are staying on the phone that they are on. I plugged them in and had it upload all the files off of it. It did, except for the cooking videos. And I've tried to see what if there's like some kind of restriction I put on them. Nope, they don't have the same exact settings as every other video. I don't know why. They are David Koresh me right now. They are not coming off. If you're too young, look it up. It's Waco. It's everywhere. And it wasn't really Waco. It was in Mount Carmel, which is actually about 25 miles away from Waco, Texas. Because I remember being at school during the Branch Davidian shit show, basically. I mean, the ATF and all that went in there and was like, we don't like what you're doing. We're just going to make you leave and kill you and whatever. Like, they instigated every bit of that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I watched that. I watched the compound burn from my schoolroom, my classroom. We were in the middle of classes that day. I don't remember what subject I was learning at that particular moment, but I do know we were in school, and so it was kind of weird because every TV in the classroom just popped on at once in the whole school. Like every TV we had just popped on. And we were told over the loudspeaker, they said, stop everything you're doing and watch. And we watched. we watched live, and then you could see, not, you couldn't actually see the flames or anything, but you could see the smoke coming up. And so we went over to the windows to see the smoke coming up, and we didn't do anything else for the rest of the day. We just watched that go down, and it was, I don't know. Um, it's the weird things to remember. 9/11. I had no clue that was going on. Um, I was asleep. Because I had been up. Let's see. Yeah, I'd been up with one of the kids. I don't remember which one, but I had been up with them. They were sick, and I get a phone call. Hey, wake up, watch TV. Okay. Uh, when the space shuttle came down, and I forgot which one it was. I think it was Challenger, maybe. That blew up over Texas, kind of. Um, I was on the phone. I was supposed to go pick up Jade from Nacogdoches that weekend, and I get a phone call. Hey, y'all might want to be careful on your way. We were leaving that day to go and pick her up from my mom and from my mama's house. Her mom was watching her, and all the way from Waco to Nacogdoches, you could see parts. And when we got to Nac, in the middle of the bank parking lot was a huge piece, and then like the church that we attended, I believe it had to close down for a couple of days because part of one of the pieces came through one of the pieces came through part of the church, and so we had to do services elsewhere, and another piece of it was kind of laying on the side. And it was weird because they were saying don't touch it, and if it falls in your yard, it's not yours, it belongs to us, and all that stuff. But I do remember they had a fight with somebody. Somebody had a fight about that. They got into like a legal argument and almost got arrested because they didn't want to give up that piece of the shuttle that had fallen, and because they thought it was rightfully theirs. It fell in their yard, and they were like, no, this is a piece of history, I want it. And so they ended up losing and had to give the piece back. But because it wasn't theirs, it just fell out of the sky. That doesn't mean it belongs to you. It just happened to fall right there, and they needed it back to figure out what happened. Let me think what else. That's about all I can think of. We're not going anywhere this weekend. Just to recap, we're not going anywhere this weekend because I feel better. I just want a me weekend. I haven't done that in a really long time. At least one me day, and I'm going to take it tomorrow. Sorry, my allergies are messing with me. And I feel great. Seriously, my COVID symptoms are pretty much gone. I have a little bit of a phantom cough, or a lingering cough, not phantom, a lingering cough, and I've heard that you can have that for up to 6 months after COVID. You'll still have the cough and still get some congestion and stuff, seeing as it is a respiratory thing. But I don't feel sick anymore. I don't feel like I'm contagious or anything. That was our original reason for not going out, because I still wasn't feeling well, and I didn't want to risk getting anybody else sick. But maybe that's still kind of my reasoning for wanting to do just a me weekend, is because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, just because I feel better today doesn't mean anything, because I felt better last time and then I got sick again. So maybe it's some kind of subconscious back there. But we will be going to somewhere. I know he's planning on doing his birthday thing next weekend, because he's not going to be this one. But I believe it's next week. It might be the weekend after that. But either way, if you get a phone call seeing what you're doing, that's probably meaning that we're coming to see you. So, yeah. The rules on the channel. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to get them videos, y'all. That's what I'm going to be doing all day today, is trying to figure out how to get Apple to hand over the hostages. Basically, because that's kind of what I feel like. Apple is holding my photos hostage from Windows and will not give it up. But yes, so that's what I'm going to be doing all day. I might stream some video games, but my main thing is what you asked for in the videos. And I'm going to post them on both. Both channels. Because not everybody can get to I guess you could get over there too. But yes, I have two channels. I have the cooking that's dedicated solely to the cooking, and then this one that's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's more the well, they're both kind of play accounts, and they're both for y'all. So however you want to say that. But I am going to go ahead and get off of here. And when I do, my do not disturb will pop off. Sorry, not do not disturb. So I have a focus that live streams that I title live stream because I have like I don't even know platforms. I have multiple platforms that I stream to. And so I don't want people to call me when I'm streaming live and be like, "Hey, you answered my phone whenever you were on live." Well, that's your fault. You knew I was on streaming and you still called me. So, but yeah, anytime I'm doing that, you'll find my focus is on. And that kind of I just do that to let whoever has an iPhone with me see what I'm doing, and that way you don't think I'm just ignoring you or whatever. You can see that I'm actually, you know that I'm actually busy or whatever. Why my phone was on Do Not Disturb this morning, though, I turned that off at 4 a.m. So I have no clue why it popped back. Maybe I did it in my sleep when I fell asleep earlier. I was watching. I'm so upset too, but I'm gonna go back and rewatch it. I was watching Smosh Pit. It's my favorite. I really love those guys. I didn't even know I knew who Shane Top was, and I accidentally named my Shane. I spelled my Shane's name the way Shane Top spells his name. But I can assure you, I did not steal it from Shane Top because he is older than my Shane. But I didn't even know. I didn't even know who he was. I mean, I did, but I didn't realize I knew who he was until excuse me, until he was on the Goldbergs. And I fell in love with him as Matt Bradley. He was just like the voice. He was the voice of reason always. When Barry would go and do these like crazy, outrageous things, Matt Bradley's like, "Well, now listen, you could go and jump off the deep end, but don't you think you should do this?" And Barry Goldberg was always telling Matt, "Shut up, Matt Bradley. Shut up, Matt Bradley. You don't know what you're talking about. Nobody likes you." I was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for Matt Bradley. I love him. He's so sweet." And so now Shane Top is on Smosh Pit. And I watch him on YouTube, or them on YouTube. I love Damien too. I love Noah's hair. I love Noah's hair. And I love Damien's purple. Purple's my favorite color, so I like it when Damien has his hair purple. But I also like that teal color he had in his hair not too long ago. But anyway, so yeah, I fell asleep watching that, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again because I really love it. Okay, he was on That So Random on Disney Channel. Okay, see, I knew he started on Disney. I just didn't know where. And that's why I said I didn't even realize I knew who he was. You guys watched Disney Channel when y'all were younger, you know. And so he was there. And I have seen him. I just didn't realize who he was. But Shane, my Shane, is actually named after Shane West and Kirk Cameron. That's how he got his name. And I didn't want him to have um uh I didn't want his name. I have Amethyst, Jade, Emerald, I have the out there names of my girls, and I couldn't exactly name my boys like that. So I just spelled their names a little different so that they wouldn't feel left out of the uniqueness, I guess, so to speak. But yes, that's where my son's name came from. Landon's came from the internet. Actually, my sister was sitting there, and I didn't know of any names. I wasn't even going to talk about it. I wasn't discussing names or anything. I was super afraid um, of a lot of things. But anyway, and we were sitting there, and she said, we should think of names. So me, Bob, and Nika together all named Landon. And oddly enough, I didn't know this either, but we have a couple of cousins that are named Landon. That they're older than my Landon. I guess I'm gonna have to start doing research before I name something or somebody. I'd be like, okay, look, who all has this name in the family? Because I'm not trying to get accused of, copycatting what you're doing. I will say, however, I currently have the only Jade in the family. Yes, I currently have the only Jade. I currently have the only Amethyst, and I currently have the only Emerald. So yes. The out there names nobody has, and I don't think we have another Shane either. We have a Landon, and honestly, I don't think we have a Caleb either. I think the only one was the Landon, and I think that was because it was popular that year. After I did some after, because we uh, we just Googled what was popular that year, and so I guess names kind of like come back. They because the Landon that my Landon isn't named after, but they thought I named him after him is I believe he's like 20, and my Landon would have been it's 11, I think. Sounds about right. No, that's wrong. Maybe. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so confused here. Yeah, so he would have been younger. But anyway, I'm gonna get off this live. I'm gonna continue to work on this. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing that so random right now. I don't know what that is. I just go by a title that like I'm just everywhere. I'm just so frustrated with this. I can't get them off of here. And I may have to redo them and find a way to. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But if you guys have any ideas on how to, get this to do, um, get my iPhone to release my videos, that would be great. Um, if y'all want to see me live later, let me know. Drop me a message. Yes, I know my lives are pretty random right now. I don't have a schedule. I need to get one. But I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked the last person who texted me to get a schedule. What's that? What's a schedule? Um, I don't feel like I have one. I feel like I fly by the seat of my pants every day. I try to have a schedule and I try to have structure because that's what makes me comfortable. But if I'm in the middle of doing my dishes and I get a phone call, I'm gonna answer that phone call, and my dishes are gonna fall to the wayside because whoever was calling me comes for those dishes. The dishes will be there tomorrow. That person may not be. That's just where my brain is. If you're trying to end this right here, I'd rather be doing this, even though I'm talking to one person. I'd rather be doing this and then they're doing my dishes, which are already done, by the way, just saying. I already did my dishes. I already did everything this morning. Everything's done. It's just me time for the rest of the day. Woo woo. Okay. And I'm fixing to order me some food. I'm not really hungry. I'm not ordering food. I'm gonna order some. I want a Dr Pepper, and so I'm gonna pay $20 for them to bring me a Dr Pepper. But I'm gonna bring food too, since it's pretty much $20 flat fee, no matter what I order, as long as I just order like one meal or whatever. And so after taxes and all that garbage, and they up, you they upcharge it or whatever. Oh, word. Up. They mark it up. They mark the price up on those apps. Because if it's $5, if you go to the store, it's like $10 on the website when you order it through Grubhub, DoorDash, etc. And I'm like, do you really have to charge it up that much when you're going to charge me all these taxes? You're going to charge me a delivery fee unless I pay the monthly um, subscription to order, food, which for me it doesn't. I might do it on a Friday, on Fridays, some Fridays. Normally I really don't because I don't like to spend money like that. To me, that's a waste of money. I don't have a car. If I had a car, I just go get in it and go. And to me, it doesn't justify spending $20 just because I don't own a car and I don't have a way to get it to me other than have somebody else bring it. But I'm also not that wife, okay? I don't want to spend all of his money. I do want to spend all his money on him and the bills, but I don't want the money. If it comes down to, and here's where we have most of our fights, honestly. If it comes down to, we have $20 in the account, and I need medicine, and he needs medicine. I want him to get his medicine, whereas he wants me to get my medicine. So either one of two things ends up happening. Nobody gets their medicine, or I get my medicine because he goes and picks it up while he's out at work behind my back. And then we get in a fight because he didn't get his medicine. If that's what we both needed at the same time. Or, or if we both want something. Generally, I get whatever I want before he does. So that's why on like birthdays and things like that, I can kind of make up for it, I guess, in a way. I feel like, because I can surprise he doesn't have an idea. I mean, he had no clue that that was a back massage chair thing. He thought it was like a video game console or something. He was on Shane's wavelength. Oh, I do a PS5, you know. And so I can do things like that for him because that's not something he would normally do for himself. If he had the choice, I would be getting whatever it was. I would be getting the tripod stuff with the rings and all that stuff, like the whole big nine. Um, you know, instead of him getting what he wanted or needed. And so, yeah, I kind of tend to go a little big on his birthdays for that reason. Or I don't know, we'll be at the store and uh, when we get home, he'll start unpacking the bags and he'll find like just random crap in there that I've put in for him. Like he loves Reese's peanut butter cups. So maybe I'll at the checkout while he's talking to the cashier, I'm turned around to the counter candy part there, and I'll slip in a Reese's peanut butter cup. And he never knew I did it. Until he gets home and he's digging through the bag and he finds it and he's like, "Oh, you saw this and thought of me?" Yeah, I did. Because this is who I am. We start buying our gifts for people early. And it doesn't matter how much it costs. It's not really a thing for us of how much it is. A lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, you only bought me a $20 gift and I bought you a $500 gift." Okay. And do you want me to give you $400 to make it even? I mean, it's not a competition. And that's the way we feel about it anyways. It's not really a competition. Um, because if somebody has more money than me and they can do better things for you, great. You're blessed. Um, as a parent, it kind of makes me feel bad because I feel like I'm not adequate. When, for example, Kay used to do this to me a lot whenever I was, and she did it on purpose. It wasn't like a slip up for her. She knew exactly what she was doing. The last time that I ever got to visit with Jade was at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm sorry, can you hang on for just a moment? Somebody is knocking on a door, and I don't know why, because they're not supposed to be. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize I tapped the mic off. That's probably not a good idea in the event that it wasn't somebody good. It was just Jehovah's Witnesses coming by to see if I wanted to talk or whatnot, and I hope I didn't sound rude. But I was like, "No, I'm streaming alive. Thank you," and I kind of just ran off and yeah. So I'm sorry if that was rude. I was just trying to get back in here to you guys. It's not that I didn't want to talk to them. I just was trying to do the live for you guys. I didn't want to leave y'all just sitting. Okay, let me see if I can cover this up a little bit more. Yes, I'm very self-conscious. Okay, I think you can't see it because that does look really bad. It looks like I don't know. Okay. And yes, it's probably just my overconscious mind because y'all didn't grow up how I grew up. Okay. Um, this woman calls me every single day, and that's a good thing because I'm all she has really. Y'all know the story. I got adopted. I had to give my kids up for adoption. So cycle didn't break that one. Tried but didn't. Anyway, so I didn't get a great mom. I didn't get like the devil either, really. She's just a really negative person. She doesn't know how to be positive about anything. And I guess that's from her circumstances of growing up, and I get that. I don't try to. I used to be that way. I saw the negativity in everything. I couldn't see the good in anything. But through some therapy, I've learned how to see the good. I still need some work, and I'll get to that eventually. It's called money. I don't have that right now. But yeah, she was just always mean to me. We had this thing okay, so in daycare, I don't really remember it per se. It's kind of fuzzy because I was only like 4, I think, at the time. I was very young, and they had these at our daycare around Halloween. They had these dolls, I guess, for lack of a better word, mannequins, because they weren't dolls. Dolls, I think, they were like tiny and cute, kind of cute looking. But they had Esmeralda and George. Uh, the Esmeralda was the witch, and George was her husband, and they had them propped up on a bench, and they were sitting there. And on Halloween night, um, when we went back, or Halloween day, when we got dropped off, I went over and I gave Esmeralda a hug the way I did every morning because I love everybody. I'm always trying to, not now, but when I was younger, I did. I wanted to hug everybody and love you and let you know you were loved. And I still try to do that. I'm just not so touchy feely anymore. But anyway, I hugged her and she moved. And then when she moved, I went to run and she grabbed me and wouldn't let me go. You talk about terrified. I was terrified. And Kate used that to her advantage. Um, she, every time I didn't do something she wanted me to, she would tell me that Esmeralda was behind me and I'd get terrified and just run in the opposite direction. Well, she did that at the wrong time one time. Some of y'all might be a little bit too young to remember, but they had bathtubs back in when I was growing up. They didn't even have them when Amy, you guys were growing up. They had outed them by then, but there were these bathtubs and they had these little a rail on there about that long, and you put the glass that you were going to slide in between with sliding glass doors on there, and so. And those bathtubs did not have any kind of slip resistance or anything. So when you slid, you slid. And she was telling me I was taking too long to take my bath or something or to get out. I loved water. I still do. So if I was in the water, it was hard to get me out. So instead of like coming over and picking me up out of the water like a sane parent would do, she comes over and tells me she does this exactly. She goes, "Oh my gosh, she's right behind you. Esmeralda's right behind you!" And of course, I freak. I come up out of the bathtub, and I'm trying to get out. And as I'm getting out, I slip. And when I do, the bottom part of my body hits that rail just like that. Straight down. I come straight down on it, do the splits right on top of it. Because I got one foot in the bathtub and one foot out. And I'm trying to haul tail out of there. Because she's right behind me. She's fitting to grab me and take me away or whatever she's going to do with me. Cook me, whatever weird things that woman was telling me she was going to do to me. So yeah, I got injured right there. Like very badly. I didn't go to the doctor or anything because back then you didn't go to the doctor unless you had blood coming out of something and they couldn't make the bleeding stop or they couldn't stitch it up themselves. And that's no joke. We just did not go to the doctor like ever. We had our own. I had one. I don't know if you can still see it, but down here, one kind of like Jade and Amy have from the same kind of accident. I fell and busted my chin. So I took my kids to the hospital. My grandma took me to the kitchen table, laid me down while the whole family held me down, poured some whiskey on the thing, and went and got her sewing kit and right there at the kitchen table sewed up and that's how it worked. If you got a puncture wound, go get some you know go get I can't think of what it's called, super glue. Go get super glue, put a little bit in there to quit it. And camphor-phenique, we use camphor-phenique on everything. If you had an ailment, camphor-phenique it was, seriously. Or kerosene. Oh lord, that stuff burns too. Do you remember pulling them out the next day, Miss Ma'am? And I had to take you back to the ER? Yes, ma'am, you were. Yes, ma'am. We were sitting there. Okay, since you brought this up about her stitches over here, her and Jade were fighting at the table. They do that. Siblings fight. I'm sorry, it happens. Mine just went a little medieval on each other sometimes. They did, yeah. But they were at the table, and Jade or Amy, I can't remember who got up. They were sitting in one chair at the table. They both wanted to be at that spot. It was the other side, the other head of the table, I guess, or the foot of the table, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't on the sides, it was an oblong table, and so they like sitting on this side because I like sitting on this side. And so they both were in the chair, and one of them got up to go to the restroom. And when they came back, the other had occupied the entire chair. And then they got into a fight like they always did over, I was sitting there, this is my chair, blah, blah, blah. And they started to kind of push each other a little bit like you would if you're trying to get somebody out of your chair. It wasn't like they were trying to hurt each other. And Amy slipped, and when she did, her chin just boom right on that table, man, and blood out of her mouth because her tongue, she had bitten through her tongue. We got blood squirting out of here. I'm freaking because, yeah. I'm just like, oh my God, you tried to kill her, whatever. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, go get somebody to stay with. Go find one of the other adults. I have to take this one to the ER. Go get another one. And so she ran back and told Travis that I had to take Amy to the ER. So I took her to the ER, and I came back, and Jade was devastated. She was beside herself because she was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. We were just playing. And I was like, it's okay. And so, they got over it and whatnot. Anyway, the next day, Jade was at school, and I was Amethyst and Travis came to pick me up from school. I was doing something at TSTC. And there was like this little restaurant across the street, and we thought we'd grab a quick lunch before we had to go pick Jade up. And then we would get her something. Either I would come back to that restaurant, or I would pick her something up after she got out of school. It wasn't like we were leaving her out completely. It was just she wasn't with us, and she would get hers in a little while. Anyway, we were right in the middle of doing the having the meal when I see this, and I'm like, Amy, leave that alone. She's like, it's bothering me. I was like, I get that. Leave it alone. And so the whole time she's doing this while we're ordering everything. About the time the food gets there, we're fixing to have it. She does this for the last time, and I'm like, for real. So these sweet little older ladies are trying to call 911 because blood is just like everywhere. They're bringing me towels from the back because, she just started it all over again. We ended up getting our meal for free. We didn't want to. We were trying to pay them the whole time. They just wanted us to get her bleeding out of there, I guess, which I can understand. It's not that. They wanted to make sure she was okay, really. And not only that, but of course, I understand we were getting blood everywhere. That's not really sanitary, and they were going to have to clean that up. And I even offered to clean that up for them, too, because that's just who I am. I was like, I'll clean it up real quick. She's not dying or anything. We just got to go get the stitches put back in there. So anyway, fast forward a little bit. We're going back to school to pick Jade up early now because of this. And so she gets in the car. Jade gets in the car, and Amy's got the towel up there because she's still bleeding, and she's laughing. She's not in pain at all. She thinks it's hilarious. And when Jade gets in the car, she's like, hi, Jade, we're going to have to go back to the hospital because I just pulled out my stitches. And I was like, it's not something to be happy about. Don't do that. It's not okay. So we took her back, and they put a couple of extra stitches in so she couldn't pull them out again. But it was really cute that she did that. And she was always that way. She was the happiest. Amethyst was just like the happiest, sweetest kid, man. And playful. And Jade was more the mom, I guess. It's like, you're not supposed to do that. You don't do that, But she was fun too. She was like more the protector. You are still fun. You're just more guarded. You're not either. You are fun when you let your guard down. How's that? Is that the right way to say it? Because I'm the same way. I'm fun too if I'll let my guard down. But there's not a whole lot of people I'll let my guard down in front of, so I'm not fun anymore. And for some reason, whenever you become a mom, it's like you aren't human anymore. You're like not a human being anymore. I feel like, for some reason, because like you get pregnant and all of a sudden your friends are like they're not there anymore. You know what I mean? Even if you're not a teenager, even as an adult, I had friends and I had Jade. But the moment I got pregnant with Amy, all my friends just disappeared. And it was like, hmm. So once the kid is old enough to talk and whatnot, you become a person again. But before that, you're just like, what? Like some kind of outcast? Because what? I can't eat the food that you can? Okay. They probably have something I can eat at the restaurant you're going to go to. You want sushi? Great. Let's go have sushi. They have soup. I can have soup. Um, you want to go for dinner and a movie with me, but you don't want the baby to go? Okay, tell me ahead of time. I can call a sitter. Um, I mean, it's not like we're different. I mean, we are different because the priorities are different, but I don't know. We're still people. We didn't change. We changed a little bit for the kids, but not. I don't know. I don't think it wrote a whole new identity, so to speak. Um, like a completely unfamiliar identity. Like it writes a new role into it. I get that, but I don't know. It feels like you're trying to. I don't know. I don't know a really good analogy, but it's like you're an apple to begin with, and now you turn into an orange. It's totally separate things, and now the apples can't play with you anymore because you're an orange. And it's like, well, I'm still an apple underneath. I just have the role of an orange on right now. But I can take that role off and become an apple again, you know. But they don't see it like that. As parents, it's like, I don't know. And even other people with children, they tend to kind of do the same things. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, or at least in my experience, it's kind of like that. Even with those of us who have kids, and I tried. I don't think I did that. I tried to include everybody. I've always been that way. I saw on TikTok about the Gen X. I don't know what I know what that is. I don't know if I agree with all that stuff, I guess. Because everybody's not the same. Just because you're a millennial doesn't mean you're this. Or just because you're a baby boomer doesn't mean you're this. Or just because you're a this doesn't mean you're a that, right? Like, I don't like the whole stereotypes. But I don't know what. Yeah, right. But I don't like the stereotypes, is what I'm saying. I don't like that just because you were born in this generation, you're supposed to be this, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what that's called. Right, right. I get that. Like, but not everybody does the same exact thing. So, like, just because you're just because you're a millennial doesn't mean you have to do these things or like these things. Just because you're a baby boomer doesn't mean that you. Okay. Yeah, right. I've been told different things about what you guys are, and there's different things out there. So I'm gonna agree with that a little bit because most of the baby boomers that I know right now are jackasses, man. Sorry. Um, yeah, they really are. They are not nice people. Um, but I guess it's because oh look at that, she's a big dog. She's the alpha. That's the best, right? That's what alpha means. Like you're the best. You're the biggest, baddest, best. Or at least that's the way I see it. Alpha. Well, an alpha male, they're the biggest, baddest, toughest out there, right? They're the one. But I don't know. I saw her on TikTok and I forgot her name, but I love her. And I can relate to her a lot about what she's saying about, don't mess with Gen X because not only did we get hit with the tree, we had to go pick the damn thing. So, going out picking switches was that. And we were very much latchkey kids. I don't think my mom knew where I was half the time. honestly. But she knew I was okay. I was just outside playing. And when the porch light came on, you better be in the house. And they better not call your name more than one time. Or it was over. You were in hot water. You came when the first time that your name was called. And if they got to your middle name, you better hide. And if they said your full name, you better just change your address and move. Because yes, I can agree with those things with her. Like I can relate to that, but I just don't feel like just because you're a Gen X or you're a baby boomer or you're this, it doesn't make you the way that everybody else is. I don't know if that makes sense or whatever. Because that's just kind of how I feel. Okay, so E is Gen Alpha. So Gen Alphas are this way, so E is this way, right? But that's not always the case. Because I believe somebody told me one time we're all in the same river, we're just in different boats or something like that. And that kind of is the truth. We're all going down the same river of life. It's just we're all in different circumstances or boats, and we need to help each other out. But back in like me, for example, I was my daughter followed in my footsteps. She got married on the playground when she was 5. God, I'll never forget that phone call. That was not even. Yeah, that was not a good phone call. That's the reason why Jay did not like me coming to the school. Because when Mama was mad, the whole school knew it. And you're not going to treat my daughter badly because you don't agree with whatever it is she just did. And you're not going to be mean to her or whatever. I'm not going to have that. But she married a little boy on the playground. The one that she married happened to be I don't remember what his ethnicity was per se, like completely, but he was mixed with 2 different um, ethnicities, one of which was African American. Um, and they threw a fit over that for whatever reason. Like, I have no clue. Mine was full African race. Thank you. Race. I don't always say the right word. I know what I'm saying. It just don't come out of my mouth right sometimes. I'm so sorry. But the one that I married on the playground at 5 was full African American. And I only know that because I was told that. As a matter of fact, when I came home to tell my mom about it, she was like, "Oh yeah, what's his name?" And I told her, "Oh, his name is Edward." And she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what color is he?" And I was like, "Huh? I don't know." I mean, that was my answer. What color? I don't understand what you're. He's a boy, you know. And that's where her head was. That's where her head still is, I guess. But she didn't see the color, the race. She saw the person, you know. And I did. I got in a lot of trouble for that after she found out who he was and that he was an African American boy. It was not good. I don't agree with that, and I didn't do that with Jade. As a matter of fact, I didn't agree with it when they did it. So they called me to the school after Jade got married and told me that they wanted to switch classes. They wanted to move either Jade or I think his name was Stefan out of the class because they had gotten married on the playground and this was inappropriate and blah 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 blah. And so me being who I am, okay, um, I'm pregnant with Amethyst, by the way, and I'm like, this is because he's black, right? She was like, what? I said, this is because he's mixed, right? And she was like, no, this has nothing to do with it. I said, so she would have married a little white boy on the playground? You'd have split them up too? Well, no, that's just kid. Okay. Well, why is it not kids playing now? Y'all are being racist. You are teaching her to be racist. I'm not okay with this. So they did end up moving her to a different class. Because I suggested maybe they moved them desks. Because, back then they had desks and you had to sit like that in the desk where your bodies are back here. The desks had to face each other. And I suggested that she just move Jade across the room or Stefan, whichever one, just move them across the room. But no, they decided they were going to put them in separate classes. So Jade did not go back to that school. I actually took her out and she started homeschooling after that because I was not okay with that. I mean, if that's a thing for you, then great. But I don't think you should push that off on kids. They don't. As kids, we're very naive. We don't know anything. We only know what we're taught, and we're not taught coming out or whatever that race is a thing, right? We don't even know what that is. You go, what color is that person? Well, what are you talking about? What color are they? What does that even mean, right? So yeah, I never try to teach Jade any of that. Amy, any of my kids. I didn't care if my kids come back and are like, oh yes, I'm homosexual and I'm getting married to a same sex thing. Well, do I understand it? No, because I'm not, right? I'm straight, so I'm not gonna understand that. But am I gonna support that? Yeah, because that's my kid. And I'm gonna support you. No matter what. Okay, well that may not be right. Because if you murder somebody, I'm not really gonna support you, but I'm not gonna run away either. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go begging and being like, no, you can't put them in jail because no. But I won't leave you. I'm still gonna be there. It doesn't matter what you do. I'll still be right there, even if I don't agree with what you did, per se. Because who is it for me to agree? That's not for me to decide. It's not for me to decide what you do. It's only for me. My job, the way I feel as a parent, even now that my children, my oldest are grown, my job now isn't to leave my kids. The job isn't over at 18. This is how I feel. The job is done when that parent is no longer here. Then your job as a parent is over. Once you are no longer on this earth, or once your breath stops, once your heart quits beating, even if your body, once you take your last breath as a parent, that's when your job is finished. Because up until that point, your children need you. I know from experience. I call my mama on a daily basis. Let me tell you, or text her if and I'm like, hey, this is going on. What can I do? How can you help me? I can't figure out a solution. Or this is what's going on. This is the solution that I came up with. What do you think? Um, I couldn't live without my mom. I really couldn't, and I don't even want to think about it. But I don't know what I'm going to do when she's not here anymore. Because that's my lifeline. Who wants to be a millionaire? Phone a friend. That's my phone a friend lifeline. Because I do. I really value her opinion because she is, to me, she's wise. And so, oh. Anyway, I have got to go. Oh yes, I definitely got to go. I'm getting a delivery. Okay, so I got to get out of here. I will see you on a little bit. If you want me to come back on live, I will. If not, I won't. I might stream some video games. For the most part, what I'm trying to do is get these videos uploaded from baking the brownies last night and the shepherd's pie. And yeah, that's it. I know I'm talking really fast right now, but somebody's fixing to start beating down my door if I don't get in there. That was the text. I'm here. Come get me. Come answer the door. Okay, so I gotta go. I will see y'all later. And I'm working on it, dear. I'm left-handed. Okay, I am so not right-handed. But anyway, text me, call me, something, and I will see y'all later. And I'm trying to get this thing to stop, and it won't. Okay, later.